So how are we gonna start this? Miss out of focus. Maybe if you like sit a little bit closer. That's better. Are you starting? Am I starting?
I can start. I feel like you started last one. What's the last one? Running errands.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave us a comment down below and like the video. So, we're gonna do a one take, no edit live update because
there's a lot going on that we just want to talk about because it's been a while since we uploaded, and I remember us saying like 2 months ago that we were going to be consistent, and we haven't been. So here we go.
Yeah, and we frankly do not have time to edit anything
or even film anything.
Yeah. Like, we're supposed to be doing homework right now, but that's a whole other thing. So, what do we want to start with?
Good question. I guess we'll just start out with like our lives as full-time students. So obviously we are both full-time students. You know, we are still going to classes. Don't mind our stomachs. We just ate. So there's gonna be a lot of noises. So again, we're both full-time students. You know, we're both, and even in these crazy times, we're both still actually going to campus. We're both still.
Whoa.
Well, I'm still going to campus. We're both still going to classes. So you know, our schedules are almost completely full with classes and with our jobs and everything. So really, everything is taken up by these activities that we have to do. You know, the major one being our degrees and our careers.
If you're new to the channel and for some reason stumbled across this video, we are both in our senior years of college and we are both music majors. He is a music tech major and I'm a music education major, so it's a pretty like intensive year for us, so that explains why we're talking about school first thing. So
yeah, basically for me this year it's internships and senior projects, and for her this year it's student teaching and student teaching.
And projects.
Yeah.
And many lesson plans.
It's basically learning how to student teach, student teaching, and then projects. So there is a lot going on for both of us, and like we mentioned earlier, I mean, you know, we're trying to be as consistent as possible, and we are trying very hard to actually make sure that we keep up with that consistency. But sometimes we're just not going to be able to, you know. Hence, and case in point, why it's been a month since we uploaded. So.
Well, now that we got school out of the way, personal stuff. So, I just want to talk about, okay, so this is like, you may or may not care about this, but I just want to talk about it because I haven't told anyone about it. So, okay, so I have lost 30 pounds in a month. And that is a lot of weight, and I am not going to make a video about how I lost 30 pounds in a month, no, because I'm not qualified, and it was like a whole situation where like I'm trying to figure out medications that work for me, and so I started taking this class of medications, and my doctor noticed that I was slowly gaining weight, but it wasn't super problematic. But it got to a point where she was like, I'm not really sure I like this weight gain, so let's put you on something else that is almost exactly like this drug, but it's newer, it's less likely to cause weight gain. So she put me on that new drug, and my weight gain accelerated. And it's not like I or we eat super bad all the time. We generally eat like regular people. We don't eat super healthy salads and like all that stuff all the time, but we eat regularly. Like
we eat normally is the better
especially
word.
This was all going on when the quarantine started. So this was like March-ish when things started happening. So my weight like accelerated, kept going up, and my parents were like super like not a fan of it. I was not a fan of it. Like I did not like how I looked in the mirror. I know you can't really tell. I mean, you don't really see much of my body, but like I was starting to see like weight gain in my face and like getting stretch marks in my armpits, and like it was like crazy. And I was at a point where I was heavier than my own father, which was really insane to me. And so my doctor was like, I gotta run some blood tests. So if you remember like the last video or two, we kind of in passing mentioned that I was getting some blood tests like as errands. So that's what it was. She was testing to see if there was anything wrong. And it turns out that these two medications were not just making me gain weight, they increased my cholesterol, they increased my blood sugar, and they were messing with my thyroid. So like everything in my body was out of whack, and my body was freaking out, and that's why I was gaining weight. So as soon as those tests came back, my doctor was like, nope, you gotta stop this medication. Cold turkey, stop it. I do not want you taking this or anything like it ever again. So I stopped, and it's really a shame because I was doing really well on this medication aside from the fact that I was gaining weight astronomically quickly. So I stopped medication, and I was okay for a little bit, but then I was not okay for quite some time. So I got put on something else, but I haven't started gaining weight. But the whole point I'm talking about this is the second she took me off that, like within a week, I was already dropping pounds. And it was so crazy to me because I was barely doing anything. I don't really have time to go to the gym this semester. I don't really have the energy to go to the gym as much as I want to and like to. I just don't. So I've just been eating, how do you call it? Like those like meals that you, like it's one of those meal services, and it's called Hungry Root. So I've been eating those when I do eat because getting taken off that medication messed with my appetite. Now I don't eat much. I don't eat more than like a meal and a half a day. So been eating Hungry Root stuff, which is like small portions and like really low calorie count. And for like 2 weeks I went to the gym, and I literally lost 30 pounds just because I've stopped taking medication. And like for once in like 2 years, I can look in the mirror and not want to punch what I see in the mirror. Like I actually feel relatively fine with how I look in the mirror for the first time in 2 years. And I feel like that's a really big accomplishment for me personally, because like I have a lot of like self-image issues sometimes. So like to finally see my body come back and see the number go back to what it's supposed to be, it's just been really great. So basically I just wanted to share that. So
I mean,
I'm in a pretty good place mentally right now. We'll see what happens since I'm on a new medication, but for now I'm in a good place mentally. So
yeah, I mean, I think the new medication has been paying tremendous dividends for you. So, like I said, we'll see where that goes and how well it works in the long run. I hope it does. But obviously only time will tell. Now, as for me, like I'm basically an open book. Anything I've said in the past, however many videos, it's basically all fair game. I mean, going back to work during this crazy, drawn out, almost politicized pandemic, it's been a trip. Like, it has been a time. More or less, my job is, I'm a salesman, so I'm supposed to sell people stuff. You know, people come into the store and they say, you know, I want this product, I want that product. I'm like, okay, cool. How are you going to use that product? How is this product going to work for you? And they're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm like, that product's not the right product for you. You want this product. And then, you know, all this stuff. But recently, my store, the store that I work at, if you haven't guessed already, probably haven't already said it, has been all about finding ways to further value up the membership side of things. So, you know, return customers or, you know, VIP customer, that kind of stuff. And it's gotten to a point in the last like 2 or 3 months where I've actually started to dislike this job. Which is saying something because I actually started out loving this job. And I think it's actually started to affect me, not really emotionally, but definitely mentally. Like, it's kind of it's definitely dragged me down every time I'm going to work. I've always noticed, you know, going into work, I'm, you know, okay, I'm, you know, feeling all right, and then coming back from work, I'm not. Like, especially tonight, you know, today was just not a great day. And she can even attest to this. Like, I was swearing up a storm on the drive home. You know, just full, like, not quite, but almost full on road rage with people. You know, it wasn't a good day. You know, so like their focus on these things, it's really dragged down my mood when I go to work and even after work, because, you know, I just want to do my job the way I want to do it. I want to do my job how well I can do it without being patronized or, you know, reprimanded or judged for not doing it correctly. So, you know. And then along with that, you know, all the things that I've got going on with you know, internships and classes, there's a lot that's on my mind and kind of weighing me down. So I'm just kind of ready for all of this to be done. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, that's a good point. As of the time of recording this, so I'm going to date this video, which is fun. It is October 10th. In 10 days, I will be getting the keys to my new apartment, which is exciting, actually. I'm actually very excited for that. That may be the one good thing happening to me in my life right now. Besides her. But, so, for the past 6 months, I've been living with my mother. Which, you know...
6 months?
6 weeks. For the past 6 weeks. It's been 6 weeks, not 6 months.
Chill.
6 weeks.
I was like, you... Whoa.
So, since late August, I have been living with my mother, which has been, it's been fun. It's been all right. You know, I've gotten to see her cat. You know, and it's just been a way to save a little bit of money while I'm I'm basically in apartment limbo right now. But I'm really excited to finally, literally have my own place. I don't know if I mentioned on the channel before, but I am moving into a studio. I'm getting myself, you know, like 500 square feet to myself. You know, kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, and a bathroom, all to myself. And I'm basically gonna check it out. I'm gonna make it my first little, like, you know, man cave kind of thing. You know, I'm. That look was all I've ever had the header. Wow, that was a good one. That look was all I've ever asked for in relation to this kind of. Oh, yeah. Man, like, you know, I've already planned on how I'm gonna smart device it up. Like, I wanna put in like smart lighting. I've been debating whether or not to build a new computer. I've been thinking about, you know, like voice assistants.
Hey Google.
Yeah, or like Ring stuff, like a Ring doorbell.
Well, okay, so you don't want to like spend all this money because you're first of all you're only going to be there for a couple of years. If things go the way I want them to go in life, you're only going to be there for a couple of years.
I mean, that's fair.
It's not a house. It's not a town. You don't want to like spend all this money,
But I also want
just to live there for a couple of years and then.
But I also want to make it a home.
It's not.
What do you mean it's not?
It is an apartment.
Is this not your home that we're sitting in?
No. This is a place where I stay so I can go to school and go to work without traveling 45 minutes each way. This is not a home. Especially with my current living situation. Don't want to go into it, but like, not super comfortable here all the time. A home is a place where every single decoration is what you want it to be. That is not the case here. The couch that we're sitting on is going to break any day now. That was a whole situation I don't want to go into.
Which is funny because
there's a stupid, I don't even, there's
well, let's put it this way, there's a lot that's going on with this living room that we don't really want to put on camera.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to me. Since I was so not so rudely I don't know. It's not like, even not like you interrupted me. But yeah, so I mean, I'm really excited about having my own space, having my own place. You know, just being able to literally control my own living arrangements. So yeah. That's on camera now.
I'm just gonna hope you guys didn't hear that. Yeah, so that's happening in his life, and what else? That's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. I mean, like, my job's a mess right now because it's flu season.
Both of our jobs are a mess.
I can barely get anything done when I go into work. I'm so stressed out with school that I asked my manager to schedule me less. She was like, yeah, I'll schedule you like 2 short shifts a week.
And 3 weeks later.
1 week later.
Oh.
I went from working 9 hours a week this past week to working 17 hours next week. The week before this week, I worked 21 hours, and that's when I said I cannot do this whole thing if I'm gonna pass this semester. I need to work less. I said, is there a day of the week that you cannot schedule me so that I can just have some time to catch up on work 1 day a week? Yeah. Tuesdays. I won't schedule you Tuesdays.
Lo and behold, almost the only day she's been scheduled has been Tuesday.
And I usually don't work 8-hour shifts because, I mean, I only have time in the evening because during the day I'm in school. So Saturdays, which is the only day of the weekend that I work, I usually work the same amount of time that I work on a weekday, 4 hours. Like, so today, which is a Saturday, I worked 4 hours. Next Saturday, I'm working 8 hours. So I don't know when I'm gonna get my homework done. And the fact that today I only worked 4 hours, and for the last like 10-15 minutes of my shift, I had to log into a group project Zoom meeting, mute myself because of HIPAA, and just sit there listening to them talk about the project that we have to do for Monday, and while I'm like frantically trying to like fill scripts so I can get out of here on time and not get paid extra and get in trouble. So I'm just over there like slinging pills like my life depends on it, and like on Zoom. And like, that's just so crazy to me that I worked that little this week and I had to do that. So what more of next week where I'm gonna be there for 8 hours? Multiple times the past couple of weeks, I've taken my laptop and textbooks and things to work, thinking I'll have time to do homework there. No. I get there and it's a disaster every night. Every night it's a disaster. Everything's everywhere. There's like a million people who want vaccines. So like I can't fill anything. So I'm just always typing vaccines. By the time the vaccines have slowed down, there's a million things to dispense, so I've got to do that. By the time I dispense everything, it's like 10 minutes to close. And then I'm like, so much for doing homework. So then I got to stay up until like 2 or 3 a.m. doing homework every night that I work. It's not sustainable, and yeah. But I need the money, so I can't just quit because I need the money. So I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. But yeah, that's how my work situation's going. It's not that I don't like the job. I don't like some of the people that come to the job. Lots of people don't know basic manners, basic courtesy, wishing someone a good night when they wish you a good night, saying thank you when someone hands you your prescription. Basic common courtesy things people seem to not care about in this area, because this is a very privileged area. And I've worked over the summer, I went to various different less privileged areas because they needed extra help, and the people, like, it was such a different experience. Like, the people there, they thank you, they're grateful, and coming back to here, I was like, who do these people think they are? Like, the way they talk to the staff, I don't know. Some of them will only speak to the pharmacist, and they just want a refill. And I'm like, you don't understand how much stress the pharmacist is under right now. They do not need to be. Do be like that. They do not need to be doing your refills for you because you think everyone else is too incompetent to press the add refill button and scan their RDAC. Random daily access code. It's like a little badge with a barcode, and you scan it so that the system knows who is doing what. So.
Yep. And it looks like the camera battery is dying, so we've got to close this out really quickly.
That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. This is gonna die right now.
Some hints from some of our favorite YouTubers.
Yes,
okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna cut it off because the battery's blinking at us. Thank you for watching. In a couple of weeks, we will film something. We will film something for you. I don't know when it will go up, but it'll probably go up in like 3 or 4 weeks. But in 2 weeks, after he moves in and we move all this filming stuff back to his place, we're gonna film for a weekend and give you that content. So stay tuned for that. And yeah.
So just be on your toes. We may very well move our upload times to 3 or 4 weeks, instead of 2 like we said we were going to. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us if you've been here since the beginning. Thank you for joining us if you're just a new. Good Lord. Thank you for joining us if you are a new subscriber. So don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you think that with whatever you feel like telling us. We've gotten a lot of comments and from a lot of great people. Telling us like what they think about us, how they think about us, that kind of stuff. Their inspirations about us. So please just make sure you get engaged with our videos and with our posts. We very much appreciate it. We're gonna close the video out here. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
And it's gonna die.